Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ministry of Mindfulness. Today's topic, we're going to talk about reconciliation and making amends and the dangers this can pose on your life. So please join me and stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about amendments and reconciliations. And I first would like to start off with the concept of self-will and how we often have to control everything and play the role of being God, where we have to control others' thoughts, others' actions, where we have to control the outcome of many things in our life. And that's easy, and we can look at that and identify those flaws in ourselves and in others. But it's not so easy to identify when we want to do good things or we want to do the right things, that sometimes that is playing God too. And how in the heck can that be playing God? Because it's still a situation we're trying to control. Now, let me give you some examples. I recently came across some teachings and some workings and a situation about making amendments with some people that I had some problems with. And so I've been exploring this idea, this concept of amendments and our role in bringing healing between us and others. And I do struggle with those thoughts because I've always felt like sometimes forgiveness is still us trying to control the situation and making the situation a livable situation. We're still trying to control the outcome of it. And my thought for that today is sometimes if something falls apart and breaks apart, we should leave it alone. We're still trying to go in, we're still trying to go back and make amendments, find the person, either ask them for forgiveness or we're trying to get them to forgive us or give our side of the story. And I like to give an example that many of the things in our lives that sometimes fall apart or drift away or just don't work anymore, sometimes these are acts of God. Whether we like this or not, and many of us in our situation that we're in right now, we don't see or understand that it might take a few months to a few years to see that these are blessings from God, that everything fell apart. And I like to look at it like a shepherd. Imagine yourself being a lamb. You're going off to the left into the woods where there's wolves. Shepherd is pulling you this way, pulling you back to the right. Dumb lamb. The lamb starts to go off to the right, and there's a cliff. Lamb's going to kill itself. Shepherd is pulling you back. So you can see where the shepherd is making the lamb's path narrow to get to safe pastures. This is why we lose relationships, or we can lose business, maybe even lose close people we love, either through tragedy or through something horrible that happened, anger, rage. Sometimes on our part, sometimes on their part. So sometimes when we go to make amends, we're going back into territory that we've been rescued from, that we have been saved from. We're trying to make amends with something that you're set free from. But our mind has to have everything right. We have to be the nice guy. We have to be nice. We feel good. And we want to forgive that person, or we want them to forgive us. Is there times this is important and possible? Absolutely. This video is not about those times. This video is about times where it's like, wake up. You've been rescued. Don't go back. Even if you're wrong and you need to ask for forgiveness, Right now might not be the time because you've been saved and they've been saved. And right now might be the worst time for you to go and ask for forgiveness. I also like to think about the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, where Lot and his family were saved from the destruction of that city, and his wife looked back. And I know there's different teachings on this story, but the fact of the matter is she looked back. The thing was being destroyed. She looked back and turned into a pillar of salt. And this is a problem sometimes with forgiveness and amends. And I know this is going to offend a lot of people. This video is not for you. You have not experienced where you have forgiven somebody or you want forgiveness and you opened up a door that things got worse and you should have just let sleeping dogs lie. There's also a saying in the Bible, do not cast your pearls before the swine. Sometimes when you find a freedom, you're rebuilding your life back up. You're over addictions, or you're over the heartbreak, or you're over the turmoil. The depression and darkness is being lifted up. The torment that almost cost you your life is starting to dissipate. We're starting to find a new light and a new meaning. We're starting to find freedom that we've never experienced. We start to feel good. We start to get support we've never had. What do? We want to play God and start to share this with other people. People that have hurt us. People that we've hurt. Will there be a time that you could fix that? Possibly. But we're running on self-will. And we're out of the will of a higher power when I need to go chase this person down and ask for amends. Whichever side of the street, whether it's on their side or our side. If those amends are meant to be, let God take control. Let God guide those amends. Let it happen naturally. Don't chase down. Pray about it. Think about it. It could be the devil tricking you too. How do you know? Time. And you thinking with the wisdom you've gained in your experiences if this is a good idea or not. You went through these things to gain wisdom. Now it's time to use wisdom. I will tell you a story about amends, and this has happened pretty recent. I had a tragic thing happen several years ago. It's basically what has made me create the Ministry of Mindfulness. Because Ministry of Mindfulness basically has kept my head above water and saved me. However, I have been with a group and we've been exploring amendments. And as we're exploring amendments, we're writing down lists of people that we've hurt or have hurt us. And this tragedy had happened. There was lots of people on my side of things that really hurt my side of things really bad. And I'm kind of confused. Why am I making amends with these people? Because these people did some really bad things. And we're trying to explore my part in it. And some of the stuff that I'm not going to see on camera, it doesn't... What some of them did was so bad, it really doesn't matter what my part was. And I really didn't have a part in any of it. But nothing justified some of the stuff that they did. And it started bringing up a lot of torment. It started bringing up old emotions, and I had been set free from this. I had been set free by being up in the forest, by being with the higher power, by meditating, by letting things go, by realizing things I can't control anymore. The things I can control, I will control. The things I can't control, I need to graciously let go. So this has been a very tormenting, bloody process, but all this stuff is being tore up again. I agree with part of the exercise that we did, but then there's part of it I didn't agree with because now I'm feeling squirrely. Now I'm starting to get crazy. I'm being grumpy with everybody. I'm being short with everybody. I can't meditate because I'm cranky now. I felt like a different person. So we're talking more about amends, and we're going down these lists, and we're facing more things that I should probably make peace with. And I had to ask the person I was doing the exercise with, if I have found a peace with this, if I have moved on, why am I revisiting this? Why am I revisiting this? Torment me, because they're not tormented right now. All of us have moved on. There's only one person in the situation right now that it's tormenting and driving crazy, and that's me. But then there was a lot of points made on a different video I'll make that were pretty amazing about that. Really amazing. So in the middle of this, I feel like I have a prayer answered where one of the people that was involved in this actually messaged me in the middle of this, which seemed like a miracle. It seemed like an act of God. And so this person started talking about the situation and started saying, hey, I've noticed this, I've noticed that, I'm kind of sorry about stuff, kind of prying about my part of the situation, my side, because nobody has really bothered to understand what my side is in this tormenting situation. So I shared it with this person. I felt good, I felt relief, I felt like somebody from the other side finally understood. I felt a release. A day later, the whole thing turned on me. A day later, I was shocked at what was written back to me. A day later, I was dumbfounded that I thought we were hitting this thing of understanding. There was no blame on either conversation at that time. There was no talking bad. It was just an explanation of, hey, you've never really asked why this got so bad over here. Here's my side. It's been 3 years, and I thought I could finally be validated and let free. And the whole thing turned on me, and at the time it had potential to get even worse and bring up other stuff from other people where sleeping dogs had lied. So I prayed and meditated about it, and I had the vision of Sodom and Gomorrah. I also have done videos in the past that we misunderstand. We have misunderstood forgiveness. Forgiveness is an act of God. And sometimes when we want to go forgive people or have them forgive us, that is still our ego, and that is still self-will trying to smooth over edges. It's a good thing and it's a noble thing. Sometimes it's a silly, stupid, foolish thing. And those of you watching this video, you know what I mean, because when you lose your sanity and you have to fight back for your home again and for your sanity again, or to overcome addictions, you know there's almost no room for error. So why are we doing a practice where it's possible you could end up back in the dangerous situations where you're back in the pit and you have to crawl back out? So the thought today, making amends and forgiveness may be for situations that you just can't let go of. You're already in the middle of hell and there's no way out. You are still trying to make things work that aren't working. There's things that should be salvaged. It'd be wise to salvage the situations. It'd be wise to make those amendments. But at the end of the day, if both parties are in a better place and a safer place, why are we making amends? Why are we opening up wounds? And so I'm not saying amends are bad or amends are evil. But if you watch this channel, I talk a lot about words we abuse or thoughts or ideas that we abuse. So let us take in and meditate on amends and reconciliation and forgiveness and realize maybe it's another tool for the ego to use of, I have to have it this way. We need to have it this way. I feel incomplete with this person out of my life and I really want us to forgive each other. That is self-seeking. You are in a safer place now, So be very, very careful on making amends. It is wise to only make amends when it is safe to do so for both sides. If it is not safe for you, then amends cannot be made. If amends are not safe for the other party, you cannot make amends. So what do? We stop running on self-will. We take a deep breath, communicate with our higher power, and we let his will be done, and you follow his will. Because our best thinking has got us in this situation where we have to make amends with these people. Our flawed mind is the source of this problem we're dealing with. So we don't know what we're doing, which is why we're going to pull back, take a deep breath, and let the higher power lead us and guide us. Let the higher power decide how this should go. You may have been saved from something very dangerous, and you're opening up your world to the danger that you keep being rescued from. Any of you in recovery programs, if you do have sponsors that are putting you in uncomfortable situations, it is okay to question them, and it is okay to speak up and say, I don't feel like that is safe for me, or I don't feel like that is safe for them. I've seen situations with amends where the people in recovery really want to make amends with like a couple of people, but because of the connection, it would actually put both of these people on a chopping block against each other. So I've actually seen it where they thought it's not wise to make amends yet on this and pull back, wait for the door to be opened. Anyways, I hope this spoke to somebody that's having trouble with amends. I hope this spoke to somebody that's getting ready to make amends. This is our thought and our meditation for today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel, as well as share this with somebody that really needs to hear this. I appreciate the share. I probably shouldn't say this because I think it's making the videos hard to get out, but for whatever reason with YouTube's algorithm, the videos are just not getting out, and I have to really, really push these videos on this channel hard. There's other channels I've had in the past, easy, but for some reason this channel, it's like pulling teeth, and I keep starting it over again to try to get more views. So anyways, thank you again for tuning in to the Ministry of Mindfulness. Make sure you take a few moments at night to take deep breaths in and breathe out.